Are you spending money on online leads like Zillow, Realtor.com, pay-per-click, Facebook, things like that, and you're just not getting conversions? I've been there. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why your lead conversion is not working and exactly what to fix with it, okay? But before we get started, I want to let you know about our channel, the Agent Growth Hub. We post our masterminds on here twice per week. There's replays that are relevant to anyone that is a real estate agent trying to grow their business. The build one is focused on up-and-coming agents that are newer to the industry, and then the launch one is focused on agents that are already productive, that are selling 15 to 20 homes a year or more and want to scale to 50, 60. We've got somebody that's selling 100 plus homes a year. So if you're interested in joining those masterminds live, definitely reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook. You can comment in the comments down below. My contact information is down below as well, or you can watch the replays and post them for free right here on the YouTube channel, okay? My name is Mike Novak. I'm part of the Novak real estate team here at Real Brokerage. Real Brokerage is a cloud-based brokerage. We've got about 12,000 agents as of the making of this video. Super dynamic, vertical growth, amazing company, publicly traded, curious about Real, of course, reach out to me as well. We've got several hundred people at Real with us at this point that we mentor, and we would love to lock arms with you and talk about how that could work for you as well. But let's get to the content. Let's talk about this. Let's really dive into why your lead conversion is not working. This is a subject that I am passionate about. I love lead conversion. To me, it is just so much fun when you figure it out. It's that skill set that is really tough to develop. Like, it takes a long time to become an elite level converter, whether you're an ISA or an agent. This is not something you can just, snap your hands and you're good at it, right? You have to really put the work in. Repetition is the law of learning, and that really applies to lead conversion. Like, you gotta be good not only at systems and designing a great strategy and how you're gonna convert leads, but you also be great at having conversations with people, like having that vitals. They feel heard, and we can actually convert that person from just simply lead information to an actual in-person appointment. Most agents are really good once they get face-to-face, but the lost art is how do you get them from the phone call to the actual face-to-face meeting. And that's what we're gonna talk about today, okay? So without further ado, here we go. Number one reason that your lead conversion is not working is because you simply don't reach out. You'd be surprised by how many agents just never actually reach out to the lead. And having an automated follow-up plan, just reaching out to them picking up the phone, calling that person and trying to reach them. You'd be surprised how many agents just never reach out to a lead. It just sits in their database. They get busy, they get distracted. It's just not top of mind for them. And for whatever reason, this lead just disappears into oblivion, otherwise known as your database, okay? Not good at all. Obviously, you are not going to get a return on your investment for any lead source if you don't reach out to people. Kind of obvious, seems super basic, but the fundamentals is where this all starts at. So that's the number one reason that people do not do well with lead conversion. They just simply don't reach out. Let's jump to number 2. You haven't leveraged text messaging, okay? So text messages, how a lot of people prefer to be communicated with, about half or so is what the data shows. And you need to have a strategy on how you're going to execute that text messaging. It is totally fine to automate some text reach out, meaning after a lead registers on your site, boom, 2 minutes later, they get an auto text from you that doesn't seem like an auto text because you wrote it really carefully and you understand sales language and things like that, right? But that would be a totally acceptable way to do it. You want to think about getting 10 to 15 text attempts within the first 30 days of a lead coming into your system, and then kind of pull back after that. If you send them that many texts, plus you're calling, which you'll talk about your and they still haven't responded, they're probably not interested, right? Like, they're telling you something by not telling you something. And I like to focus the bulk of those texts in the first 10 days. So, if you're gonna sound like 10 to 15 texts in the first 30 days, maybe 60, 70% of those are in the first 10 to 14 days. So it's really front loaded. Think heavy about day 1, sending a couple of texts, not just one, and then day 2, then maybe give it a break, and then day 4, come back to it and kind of keep going. Try to text people at different times. Don't just text them at 9 a.m. when it's convenient for you. A lot of people get off work at 4 p.m. and that's a better time to chat with them, 5 p.m., things like that. So try to layer your texts and get some in the morning, get some at lunch, some in the afternoons, and then you're getting a different response rate to all these different times, okay? So that's number 2, you haven't leveraged text. Number 3, this might sound kind of crazy because it kind of contradicts what I just said number 2, but it totally goes hand in hand with it. Number 3 is you overly rely on text messaging. Like, that is your sole lead conversion strategy. That won't get the job done, people. You gotta do better than that. Text messaging is part of a lead conversion strategy. It is not in and of itself a complete strategy though, unfortunately. You need to still call people, okay? The data shows that 49% of buyers actually want to have a phone call from people. And a lot of this is probably connected that people think that texting is spam. They think that it's a bot, which kind of is a lot of the time. But when it's a phone call, shoot, they're actually talking to you, right? They know you're a legit real estate agent. And you can also convey a lot of value in a phone call that's hard or time consuming to convey in a text. I've had text conversations that drag on for 30 or 40 minutes, when if we would have just talked on the phone, boom, we could have hammered it out in like 5 minutes. It could have brought them a ton of value and set the appointment. So don't rely too much on text. Like, it's part of a strategy, but it is not a complete strategy of itself. Okay, so I talked about having, 10, 15 texts that first 30 days. You should also have somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 phone calls in those first 30 days. And they should really be in the first 10 days. On our team, we try to get 10 phone call attempts in the first 10 days. If they haven't reached out to us, we then just let the automation run on the person, which is texting at that point. But at that point, we feel like, we've done a really good job of reaching out to this person. They haven't responded back. They're probably not interested, but we're still going to run a text campaign on just in case. And then we have a process and a system where if this lead takes certain behaviors, we'll reach back out to them. Again, I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. Okay? That is the perfect segue to number 4. You don't have a behavioral-based follow-up strategy. I just mentioned to you, like, we call the leads for the first 10 days. We call them every day. So 10 total calls in the first 10 days. Then we stop calling them if we haven't gotten a response. At that point, what we're looking for is a behavior to be taken that suggests maybe they're reinterested in having a conversation. That could be coming back to the website. It could be saving a property. It could be viewing a property 3 or more times. Things like that, okay? So you need a strategy for behavioral-based follow-up. Super, super important to have that. You can tag the leads, like a certain tag in your CRM when they do these behaviors, and then work that list each day, like come in, all those people, send them a text. For us, we use Ylopo for retargeting, and when somebody engages back with our site and triggers one of these behavioral-based alerts, they get a tag put on them, an agent calls them, and then we also apply a messaging plan on them that includes about 15 reach out attempts over the next couple of months. So make sure that you call these priority events, is what I call them, priority events, and then also have a text behind it as well. Behavioral-based follow-up is super important. Most leads are like really far out, like 9 to 12 months out, depending on the lead source, from actually making a purchase decision. They're kind of in what I call the information collection phase when they first come on your website. And so they might not be ready to talk to you yet. And that's why they're sending you a voicemail, not responding to your text messages. But then after a series of months, maybe they've watched some of your videos, they've read some of your emails, they've listened to your voicemails, and boom, you just happen to send them a property they really like. Now they save that property and you're Johnny on the spot calling them saying, hey, checking back in. I know it's been 7 months since we last tried to reach you. Are you thinking about making a move now or in the near future? Okay, so that's behavioral based. This takes some thinking and some strategy, but it will pay dividends for you. Number 5, the last one for today. You give up too freaking soon. You make 2 or 3 calls and you're like, they're not interested. Throw it in the towel. Nope, not going to get the job done. If you want to optimize your conversion, you got to work the crap out of this lead. I want a minimum of 10 phone calls. I want a minimum of 15 text messages in the first month or so, okay? Anything less than that, you're not doing everything within your power to try to reach this lead, and it's not going to optimize your lead conversion rate, okay? More than 30% of leads, and this is from every industry, not just real estate, never receive a follow-up call after the initial contact. Like, the follow-up just sucks. You talk to this person, which is really the hard part, because you made contact with them, you understood who they were, what the pain point is, you offer them a solution, and now you're calling them back and they already know who you are. Make those follow-up calls. Pretty straightforward, right? The other stat I want to share with you, it takes an average of 8 contact attempts to initially reach someone. So once you reach somebody, that is gold. They know who you are, bring a lot of value to that call, and then just make your follow-up calls, and you're going to be good to go. But stop giving up on the leads. Anything less than 10 calls, anything less than 15 messages, and you're giving up too soon. Okay, so those are my 5 things for today. I want to give you a bonus one too, just kind of something to throw out there. This will lead into our video that's going to come up next. But then the 6th kind of like bonus reason I have that your lead conversion is not optimal is because you don't know what to freaking say. Like, you don't know what to talk to these people about. You don't understand how to listen to what they're telling you. You don't know how to ask great questions. You don't know how to mirror match them. Your word choice sucks, things like that. So next video, I'm going to share with you what to say and how to say it so you can address that part of your lead conversion strategy as well. This one is really more based off of work ethic and a little bit of systems and strategy as well. Okay, so if you got questions about this, contact info is down below. You can also comment on the video. Follow our channel. We post content here every single week. Join one of our masterminds. It's totally free to do it. We just do it to help other agents across the country. You can hop on there live and ask us questions. Or if you want to, you can just watch the replays on the channel as well. Totally up to you. But reach out to us, and we look forward to being a resource for you. Of course, if you're considering real brokerage, give me a call. I'd love to help you with that.